Healing in the Heart of Montana, The Tale of a Man and a Bison Calf. The film opens with breathtaking panoramic shots of Montana's sprawling landscapes. Vast mountain ranges and endless plains paint a picture of serene, untouched wilderness. The camera glides over the terrain, capturing the early morning mist as it settles over the lush greenery and rugged peaks, setting a tranquil tone for the story. We are then introduced to Jack, a rugged, middle-aged man with a weathered face that tells stories of a life lived outdoors. He resides alone in a quaint wooden cabin nestled against the backdrop of towering mountains. Jack embodies the spirit of solitude, his presence as enduring as the landscapes that surround him. A typical morning unfolds for Jack, marked by the simplicity and quietude of cabin life. The crackling sound of firewood in the hearth breaks the silence as he prepares his morning coffee. Outside, the chirping of birds and the rustle of leaves blend with the whisper of the cool mountain breeze. On this particular morning, Jack decides to take his routine walk through the dense forest that borders his home. The path, well trodden by his own feet, weaves through towering pines and over moss-covered rocks, a testament to his daily communion with nature. As he walks, Jack's attention is suddenly caught by a soft, whimpering sound. Following the distress calls, he stumbles upon a bison calf lying awkwardly in a thicket, its leg evidently injured. The calf, vulnerable and alone, pulls at Jack's heartstrings, setting the stage for a story of unexpected companionship. Jack carefully examined the bison calf's injuries, his hands gentle but steady. He recognized signs of a sprain and some superficial cuts, likely from a fall. Using the supplies from his modest first aid kit, he cleaned the wounds and wrapped the sprained leg with a soft bandage. With daylight fading, Jack set to work building a makeshift shelter next to his cabin. He gathered old wood planks and tarp, creating a lean-to that would shield the calf from the elements. Inside, he placed fresh hay for bedding, ensuring the young bison would be warm through the night. Each morning, Jack rose with the sun to tend to the calf, whom he had started calling Buddy. He prepared a mixture of milk replacer and water, feeding it to Buddy with a bottle. These moments were filled with patience and care as Buddy slowly took to his new diet. As the seasons changed, so did Buddy's strength and vitality. Jack watched with a mix of pride and relief as the calf began to put weight on his injured leg. Each day brought small victories, from a firmer stance to a more vigorous appetite, marking Buddy's path to recovery. The breakthrough came one crisp morning when Buddy stood unaided for the first time. Jack's heart swelled with pride as the young bison took tentative steps around the shelter. It was a moment of triumph, both for Buddy's resilience and Jack's unwavering dedication to the calf's recovery. As the seasons changed, Buddy grew stronger under Jack's diligent care. He began to shadow Jack during his daily routines, trotting along as Jack repaired fences and tended to other chores around the property. This constant companionship sparked a deep bond between the man and the once struggling bison calf. Their relationship wasn't without its playful interruptions. Buddy, now a robust young bison, would often nudge Jack playfully during his work, causing minor havoc but bringing warmth and laughter to Jack's solitary existence. These moments of lightheartedness served to strengthen the bond between them, making their companionship even more special. As they spent more time together, Jack and Buddy also shared quieter moments. They would often end their day sitting by the cabin, watching the sun dip below the horizon. On clearer nights, they would gaze at the stars, a peaceful silence between them that spoke volumes of their mutual affection and understanding. Their tranquil life took a turn when a wildlife ranger visited the cabin. He had heard of Jack's unusual companion and came to check on Buddy's health and living conditions. The ranger's visit sparked a tense conversation about the legality and implications of keeping a wild animal as a pet. Jack defended his actions passionately, arguing that his bond with Buddy was based on mutual trust and care. He stressed that he had only stepped in to help a creature in need and that he had no intention of harming Buddy or disrupting the natural order. The ranger, while cautious, listened intently, recognizing Jack's sincere attachment to the bison. Jack's attachment to Buddy becomes palpable during the wildlife ranger's visit. His hands gesture animatedly as he explains the daily routines and care he's devoted to Buddy. His voice breaks slightly when he stresses how he considers Buddy's well-being in every decision, demonstrating a deep emotional commitment to the bison calf. The ranger, while understanding, raises concerns about the complexities of raising a wild animal in a domestic setting. He mentions the legal implications and the potential dangers both to Buddy and to Jack. This conversation leaves Jack wrestling with doubts, realizing the gravity of his choices and their potential consequences. In an effort to better accommodate Buddy, Jack turns to the internet and books, absorbing all he can about bison. His cabin slowly fills with wildlife books, and his browser history logs hours spent on research. This self-education is both an act of love and a necessary step to ensure he's providing the best care possible. The local town meeting becomes a turning point for Jack. As he shares his story, seasoned bison experts and veterinarians offer advice and share insights. One neighbor, moved by Jack's dedication, offers help to build a more suitable enclosure for the growing Buddy, signaling the community's support for Jack's unconventional but heartfelt mission. Together, the community rallies, bringing materials and hands-on help to expand Jack's property to better suit a bison. Laughter and camaraderie fill the air as fences are raised and a large, secure enclosure takes shape. This collective effort not only improves Buddy's living conditions but also strengthens the bonds within the community. Buddy, now much larger and still brimming with youthful energy, becomes a playful force of nature around Jack's property. One sunny afternoon, his mischievous antics reach new heights as he knocks over a tool shed, scattering equipment and startling a flock of birds into the sky. Jack can't help but laugh at the chaos. Later that evening, while watching Buddy graze, Jack is struck by a nagging doubt. He questions whether keeping Buddy is fair to the animal, whose wild instincts are increasingly evident. The responsibility weighs heavily on him, and he wonders if his decision to raise a wild bison was right. Jack's worries deepen when Buddy falls suddenly ill. The once vibrant bison lies weak, barely moving. Panic sets in as Jack tries everything he knows to help, his mind racing with fear of losing his companion. The night stretches on, filled with Jack's tireless efforts to comfort Buddy. In the darkest hours, a local veterinarian arrives, summoned by Jack's urgent call. She examines Buddy carefully, administering treatment and offering soothing words of encouragement. She commends Jack for his dedication and care, providing a glimmer of hope in the tense atmosphere. As dawn breaks, Buddy shows signs of recovery, his breathing steadier and his eyes brighter. Jack, exhausted yet overjoyed, sits beside him, stroking his coarse fur. The relief is palpable, and as Buddy slowly stands, Jack's heart swells with pride and love for the resilient creature he's come to see as family. Jack's relief was palpable as Buddy began to show signs of recovery. His diligent efforts, paired with sleepless nights, were finally paying off. The bond between man and bison seemed unbreakable, each day strengthening their connection as Buddy regained his strength under Jack's unwavering care. During a visit, a local vet praised Jack for his dedication. The professional advice and support provided were invaluable, and Jack felt more confident in his ability to care for Buddy. This validation was crucial for him, reinforcing that his efforts were not just based on emotion but also on proper animal care practices. As Buddy grew healthier, Jack introduced him to a nearby herd of bison. The initial interactions were tense, filled with curiosity and mild conflict. This was a new and challenging experience for Buddy, who had grown accustomed to human company. Jack watched anxiously, hoping his friend would adapt well. Jack faced a heart-wrenching realization that Buddy needed more than he could offer. True fulfillment for Buddy meant living with his kind, despite the deep bond they shared. The decision to reintegrate Buddy into the wild was tough, filled with emotional turmoil for Jack, who had come to see Buddy as family. Consultations with bison conservation experts provided Jack with a plan for Buddy's future. They discussed the best approach for reintegrating him into the wild, considering his health and socialization needs. A farewell party was organized, bringing together locals who had followed Buddy's journey, marking a bittersweet celebration of his new beginning. The local community gathered to bid farewell to Buddy, the bison calf who had captured their hearts. The atmosphere was festive yet tinged with sadness, as everyone reminisced about Buddy's journey from frailty to strength under Jack's care. The farewell party was a heartfelt tribute to their shared journey. Carefully, Jack and a team of bison conservation experts led Buddy towards a waiting herd of wild bison. The reintroduction was gentle and respectful, ensuring Buddy's comfort and safety. As Buddy tentatively joined the herd, Jack felt a profound mix of relief and apprehension about his friend's future. Jack watched from a distance as Buddy started to integrate with the wild herd. It was bittersweet. He was proud to see Buddy adapting, yet felt a pang of loss. The sight of Buddy blending into the landscape marked a new chapter for both of them. Returning to his cabin, Jack felt the silence more deeply than ever before. The space felt emptier without Buddy's presence, yet there was a sense of profound fulfillment. Jack knew he had done the right thing, and the quiet of the cabin gave him space to reflect on his journey. Inspired by his experience with Buddy, Jack began volunteering with a local wildlife conservation group. His first-hand experience provided invaluable insights into the care and reintegration of wildlife. This new purpose invigorated him, offering a way to continue impacting the natural world he cherished so deeply. Jack's experience with Buddy inspired him to advocate for wildlife protection. His heartfelt story, shared in local meetings and online platforms, underscored the importance of understanding and preserving natural habitats. Jack's voice became influential, resonating with people who had never considered the impact of human activity on wild animals. At one of these meetings, Jack decided to visit Buddy in his natural habitat. Observing from a distance, he saw Buddy thriving among his herd. The sight filled Jack with a profound sense of peace and accomplishment, knowing he had made the right decision for his friend. The experience with Buddy deeply transformed Jack. He began volunteering with a local wildlife conservation group, dedicating his time to protect the creatures he once lived alongside. His cabin walls, once filled with hunting trophies, now displayed maps and plans for habitat preservation projects. Jack's advocacy work brought new regulations and awareness to the community. His efforts ensured that the wildlife in Montana would thrive, safeguarding the future for other animals like Buddy. His story became a beacon of hope and a call to action for conservationists everywhere. In the final scene, as the camera pans over the vast Montana landscape, Jack stands on his cabin porch. He gazes towards the mountains, a content smile spreading across his face. The journey had come full circle, from solitude to connection, from care to advocacy, embodying a profound transformation.